You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead. Kevin.
I'm 6'5", 250, and trained, so bring that shit on, bitches.
I was listening to Truth on Tap with Kevin and Kierstead last night. I've never really called into Kevin's show or gotten into any banter to him because, to be honest with you, he's way too intellectual for me. I mean, I'm no dummy, but this guy, I don't think I can hang with him verbally and just, discussing the issues. He's a really smart guy.
That's Wes Johnson. Find him at wesjohnson.com. The greatest on-air personality to ever bless the United States of America.
He does a really good show. It's very professionally done. He's on iHeartRadio.
I can sniff out bullies from a mile away, and I love to go after them. I am not alpha male until an alpha male shows up and tries to start bossing me around. That's when the alpha male comes out in me. I'm an alfalfa male. Once an alpha male gets in my face, I'm an alfalfa male. The cowlick pops up on the back of the head.
Every once in a while, you have to go to war.
The can'ts rise to become high waters. I got my dukes up.
I'm gonna, what do you call it, mute my mic so I don't deafen you, or defecate on you. And, oh shit, he made a poop noise. And then we're gonna...
And I'm ready to rock and roll. Give him a little Jack Johnson, Yeah.
Truth on Tap is now flowing from iHeartRadio. Get your Kierstead fix by Googling Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead. All the truth you can handle running hot on iHeart, Facebook, Spreaker, and more. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth on Tap.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can. Truth on Tap, Kevin Kierstead. You know this man. 212. How about Pimple Magnolia? Yeah, there's the PM for you. I like to do stuff. 5/11/2015 is the date. It's creeping by. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow may not come. This is what you have. You have my radio show today. See what that'll do for you. I don't want to attack a religion. Don't make me do that. But I do have to talk about faith. And I think faith is mostly retarded. And did you see the irony in the title? I mean, is faith stupid? I believe so. It requires me to have faith in the concept that faith is stupid in order to believe that faith is stupid, which is to say that my own belief system is stupid. So why make any comment at all? Well, that's why we do this. Yes, we do. That's why we do. That's why we do this. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I thought you knew. If you're new to this show, you're not ready for it. Just don't, you can't, it's not, it's that. No, it's not that kind of show. Because I don't know what I'll do. Day to day, moment to moment, have no fucking clue. Well, I do a little preparing now. I download some clips. We gotta have some clips. It gives merit to what I'm saying. I'm a bit of a cherry picker. I pick the stuff that I believe helps to get the point across that I want to get across. But I also do not ignore general truths that do not line up with my belief system. That would be foolish. And foolish is not a game that I like to play in. Yeah, I leave that to others. You know the ones, don't you? Do you know the ones? Yeah, you do. You do. I don't have to say any names. No, we're keeping it classy up in this bitch. Georgia Linus's DJ Archive Pulse Georgia Linus remix. It's the song you're hearing right now. K-Tap is making your yip yap today. And there are many things that rhyme with yip yap, like slap and gap and chat, but why go into those just because they rhyme? Doesn't make sense. I've got religion stuff up here. I've got belief stuff up here. I've got a huge belief and religion chart up here that shows you the origins of all the religions and the adherence to gods, the human life, afterlife, practices, text, on and on and on. This isn't really about religion, though. But unfortunately, it is difficult to find information about the dangers of having faith without somebody bringing religion into it for these clips that I got. I couldn't just find a lot of critical thinking stuff about why you should be careful about faith. Couldn't find it. I didn't dig all day. I do this quickly. But it is something we need to talk about. I'm going to get it out there now. We may have some calls later, may not. I picked a weird time of day because I get left alone at this time of day, typically speaking. Oh, there's always exceptions. Yeah, I'll get into it in a minute. Just chill. Let's chill for a sec. Yasha. Finally, give you a little update on things. We've been doing the Evil Show. I think we've only missed one day due to technical difficulties, and we continue to have technical difficulties on the Evil Show. But it is not a sledgehammer coming down on the progress of the Evil Show, and keeping in mind that the Evil Show is not that evil, really, and therein lies dramatic irony. I mean, you got to admit, that's pretty impressive. Right off the bat, from the get-go, a show is called The Evil Show in which all of the people on it are not evil. Well, look at that. That's dramatic irony. It's already done. We haven't even spoken yet. You know who's in the show, you know the title of the show, and there is something at odds with those two entities. That's cool. That's what that's going to get. There's a hook right there. I mean, we could have called it the Southwestern United States Diesel Truck Mechanic Show, in which case none of us could possibly adhere to that definition because it's not who we are. But would that be as interesting as the Evil Show? Very specific, not as interesting in my view. Yeah. Oh, there's so many things. I don't want to complain. Why complain? Because that doesn't help. The Washington Capitals, my favorite team, they're fucking up again. They had a 3-1 series lead, best of 7. They're about to blow it. I'm used to this. We hold the NHL record. We've done it 4 times already. That means 3-1 lead. All you've got to do is win one more game. And you give 3 games in a row away. It's almost impossible to do. The Capitals have found a way to do it 4 fucking times, setting the NHL record, and they're about to do it for a 5th time. My team has become the choke of champions. And I can't control that. That's outside of my control. But what I can control is my belief, my faith in this team. Because I'm insisting now that instead of rooting this team on and making them prove me right about how much I believe in them, I'm going to make them prove me wrong about how much skepticism I have about them. I don't believe they'll win. Prove me wrong, bitches. I have already processed the loss Wednesday night. If we lose Wednesday night in New York, will be zero surprise to me. If we win, that'll be a nice, pleasant little twist. But the way they're playing, they're not going to make it past the 3rd round, so why bother? Might as well let a team go up there that can do something. Yeah, it sounds sacrilegious, doesn't it? I'm changing my faith in things to require evidence. This is something that the seeds were planted in college, and I kind of sensed what was going on there, but I still said, well, if there's so much we don't know, then why should I start to curb my beliefs in any way to try to bring them in line with evidence? Because the evidence will come. What a weird thing. I'll have faith in a bunch of unproven shit because people have said it, but I won't require evidence for it. The evidence will come eventually. Why would I believe that? There's no premise to believe that the evidence will come eventually. And in my guess, most of the things I bothered to believe in back then did not come and will not come. It's hard to tell. You can't be sure. But to believe it will come, to have faith, why? It's because one of 2 things is going on. This is my view of it. You either have an ego to protect, you want to believe in your God or your team or your prediction about an outcome. Because you are wrong, your ego takes a swift kick to the nuts. Yes, that would be a kick by a wooden leg, a prosthetic leg directly into the vaginals. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. Who wants to get kicked in the vaginals? Now, that's one thing that could go wrong. But let's say it's not your ego. Let's say your ego is fully in check. You're mature that way. You don't have to be right and wrong about stuff, but you still believe. Why is that? It's because if the belief you have about the outcome of an issue is not the belief that turns out to be the correct one, that other outcome that you didn't believe would happen is hurting you in some way. So you're basically engaged in wishful thinking. Because if the outcome is any other way than I believe it will be, we've got a problem. I believe I just spent my whole paycheck on these lottery tickets. I believe I'm going to win at least as much as my paycheck was or more. Because if it doesn't happen that way, then I just was made a fool. And the statistics should tell you were a fool anyway for doing that. Anyway, so beliefs, faith. Where do you get it? Why do you have it? Did you grow up in a household where your folks said you got to believe in the Christ man? He died on the cross for your sins. Oh my God. Listen, I don't know. I'm agnostic. Let me state it right up front. This is not an attack on Christianity. But let me tell you something. Many of the Christians that I've been listening to as I go through these critical thinking videos that I'm always going through are causing me to become more likely to become atheist, if for no other reason than to spite them. Because of the fucking hypocrisy, honestly. Oh, it drives me insane. I've got to change my thinking there, too. I've got to stop expecting people to not be hypocrites. I got to stop expecting that. Expectations are where your disappointment comes from, and I hear this philosophy all the time that, well, it could be worse. It could be worse. Your house could have burned down last night. You could have been stomped in the vaginals by an elephant and had to get a replacement. Okay, yes, that would have made things worse, but is that what I have to do? Have I descended into a pit where the only way I can make myself feel better is to find people that feel worse? Because that's not good enough. You don't have to settle for that. No, it's one thing to appreciate that you may be in a better position than a person who was, say, scuba diving and had both legs bitten off by a great white shark, came out, got prosthetic legs put on, were able to run in a race and broke their neck trying to jump a hurdle in a race with robot legs. These things happen. These things happen. Damn the great white, you say. Well, you should have been scuba diving, somebody else will say. Well, God has made it so that you at least got to race, when most people would have died right there in the great white's jaws. Who's right? Nobody fucking knows who's right. And nobody wants to admit that nobody knows who's right. Because that's chaos. And people are not comfortable in chaos. So they have to believe in something. They have to believe in some structure. And that's where we're going with this. That's what I'm going with today. I don't like faith. I don't like having to have faith. I believe I should be able to find evidence for anything I want to believe in. And if I don't find that evidence, I have to do the uncomfortable thing of choosing not to believe in that until there is convincing evidence. That's what I believe. But that requires faith too, doesn't it? We'll start it off on a light tone here. I want to take you back in time to Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert. Is it Steve Carell? Is that his name? Carell? The guy that, you know the guy. I think it's Steve Carell. Yeah, so we might have the Battle of the Steves here, unless I'm getting his name wrong. I get names confused all the time with Hollywood. I don't follow Hollywood actors' careers and stuff, so I forget their names very easily. It's not my interest. I'm just not interested in it. But they do have some, they have a name behind what they're saying, and for that reason, they can sell their ideas a little bit easier. And for that reason, we're going to play this, and I'm just going to play it along as I talk here. Let's hope this works. Long time ago.
What's the weather like up your own ass? Tonight's topic, Islam versus Christianity. Which is right? Islam. Christianity. Islam! There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Stephen? Steve,
yeah,
this debate is about religion. Let's discuss it rationally. Now, think about it. If you
Which
were
is
God,
right.
Would you manifest your divine glory to a shepherd in a cave in Saudi Arabia in the 7th century? Or as the son of a carpenter in a manger in Judea in the year 0? Come on, use your mind.
Okay.
Stephen, what part of there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet don't you understand? Look, let's assume for the sake of argument that your God is the one true God. That would mean Allah is not the one true God, which we know he is. Don't you see? Your logic eats itself.
And by the way, there are more than two religions, folks.
God's logic, as written in the Bible, every word of which is true. And we know every word is true because the Bible says that the Bible is true. And if you remember from earlier in this sentence, every word of the Bible is true. Now, are you following me here, or are you some kind of mindless zealot? You know, there is one way of settling this. Crusade. All right, there are two ways of settling this. The one that I was thinking of, a pray-off. You pray to your God, and I will pray to mine, and we will see which one of us gets smited. Great, let's do it.
I believe it's smitten, is it not?
My God was born ready. Or not so much born as begotten, not made.